Hi, welcome to TechSR. In this video, we're going to see how to secure our API using the basic or simple API key. So this is the API which we have built recently. So if you look at this, if I use a get and send it, I'm getting the response. So this is publicly accessible by anyone. So I want to secure it with some secure API token. If someone accesses it without the API key, it should throw an error. So like this. So here I'm going to hit this API. So if I hit it, you can see it says 401 unauthorized, API key not given with middleware. So this is the thing we're going to implement now. As part of this activity, we're going to modify 3 files. So first one is appsetting.json file. So in this we're going to add a API key. And second is program.cs file, where we're going to add a reference of our middleware. And third is creating a new custom middleware for API authentication. API key maybe we can say, and this should be second actually. Okay, so now we can proceed with the changes in our project. So first is appsetting.json. So we need to open our appsetting.json file. So in this we are already having few settings available. So what we can do is we can add one more variable here as API key. So and we can keep whatever key we needed because it's a simple authentication. So I'm going to have it as let me test. Okay, so this is API key now we have. So the next step is we're going to create a middleware and use this API key in those middleware. Now we can create a new folder called custom middleware or middleware in our project. So we can right click, add new folder and name the folder name as custom middleware itself. So inside this we're going to add a middleware. So you can just give add new item and just search for middleware. So we're going to add a middleware class and we can name this class as API Key Authentication Middleware. So we have got a middleware file created. So this is a template of the default middleware file. Next we're going to add our implementation in this file. We don't need this method because we are actually going to add this extension in the middleware in the program.cs file itself, so we can remove this. Okay, so we're going to focus on only this invoke method for now. So what's the logic we're going to return on this? So it requires few steps. Okay, so first one is what we're going to do is we're going to check if API key header is present in the request. So we're going to check this first. If this is present, then we can proceed. Otherwise we can show like 401 unauthorized and add the custom message. Okay, and if the key exists, we're going to get the key from app setting and compare with request header API key. If it matches, we're going to proceed. Otherwise we're going to throw 401 unauthorized again. So this is the logic we're going to build in our code now. For that, first we need to have this parameter, like in headers we're going to pass one parameter, right? And we can get those name from app setting itself. So this is the key which we're going to check. Okay, so we can create one variable here. So let it be a constant, private const string, and we can say as API key property name, which is given in the application settings.json file, this API key. we're going to use that. Now in the invoke method, what we're going to try is we're going to check as per our notes. We're going to check if the API key header is present in request. So we have the HTTP context here as a request dot, and in that we can check for headers, and we're going to get the value. What is header value we have? We have API key property name. This is a header we're going to test, and we're going to get this value as API key. So if this is present, we're going to return the logic, but we can invert the cases now. So we can try if not present, then we're going to throw the error. So we can set HTTP status code to 401 in this scenario. And then we can write the message also. So this needs to be async method. Since the task, we can use async itself, and we're going to send the response message also. What is the response we're going to write? API key is not present. We can change the text as whatever we need, and then we can return this. Okay, we can check what is the error here. As we have added a async here, so we should have the async method. That's the error we are getting now. Okay, so now this is done. So this is one of the scenario which we have handled here. And next, if this is present, we're going to get the key from app setting and compare it with this value again. So we're going to get the value from app settings.json file. Request service dot get required service. So this is the method we're going to use to fetch the value from the configuration. Then we can get the key. So now we have the app settings property read, and we're going to get the value in string for this API key property name. Then we're going to compare this with our actual key. So we can invert this condition as we did earlier. If key is equal to our API key in the header, then we're going to have the same error, like it should be response code is 404. Okay, we need one more brace here, and then we can say API key is not valid. Then we can return this. If not, we can just return. Since it's async, we're going to return await. We don't need a return here, it's just await. That's it. So we are done with the middleware section. Next, what we are going to do is we're going to add this middleware in the program.cs file. Now we can go to our program.cs file, and after HTTP redirection, or before that itself, we can add app.use middleware. And what is the middleware we're going to use? The middleware name is API Key Authentication middleware. And that's it. So now we are done with our implementation. Now we can test our API whether it is working as expected or not. So let me run the project. So this will open the Swagger page, but in Swagger there is no option to test the headers, so we need to make some tweaks in the Swagger that we will learn as later. So first step is we're going to check this API get all customers. I'm going to try this, execute, and you can see response error status is 401 because we don't have the headers being passed here. Maybe we can debug the code and see this behavior. So let me add a debugger in our middleware. We can have a debugger here itself, and let's try to run this again. So we can run the execute. It should hit the debugger. Yes, we are getting. So in headers we're going to see is there any value present. What is the API key property? It is API key. So it looks like the header is not present, so it's returning 401 error. That is what we're seeing here. So we can navigate to Postman and hit this URL. So let me add a new request. So this is what I'm going to try and send it again, and again we don't have headers. It should throw an error. So API key is not present. We are getting the proper error. Next step is we're going to add a headers to test the positive scenario. So what is the header name we're going to have? We can check it in the app.settler.json. So this is the API key, and let me test this the value. Okay, so let me try with some invalid name. Just have let me. I'm going to send it. It will hit the debugger again. So this time we have the headers present, so it should skip this block. We can close this solution explorer, and next is I'm going to get the app setting, and next we have got the app settings value, and in app settings we're going to get this property. So what is the key value? We have let me test as the key, and what is the value we got from the headers? It is let me. So we're going to compare both the keys are equal or not. We can clearly see it is not equal. Then it should throw 401 API key is not valid. Yes, so it's going to the block, and we are seeing this error, API key is not valid with status 401 unauthorized. So let me try with the correct value and send it again. So this time we have the headers present, so it's skipping that, and then we are getting the app setting value, and we got the key as let me test, and then extracted key value also already we have an output, so that is also let me test. So this both looks equal, so it should pass. It should not go into this loop. Yes, so now we will be able to get the result. So this is how we can implement a simple authentication for our API, but this is also not secure, but it is one way of securing our API if we are using an internal project. Okay, so in our upcoming video we can see how to add a basic authentication with username and password in the same approach by adding the custom middleware. To get more useful information like this, subscribe to TechSR. Thanks for watching.